Hello, today we're going to do a trip plan from Foothills Adult Center to El Cajon Transit because El Cajon Transit is a point of contact. It's actually the center of the universe, you might say, or the solar system for El Cajon as far as the transits go. Most all the buses in El Cajon go to the transit center in El Cajon Transit Center at some time. They circle around. It's like a circle. So this is good news. If you fall asleep on a bus, for example, you're always going to wind up at the transit center. So you'll always be able to start over, right? And it's also where the trolleys that we take are the green line and the orange line. So we usually use a trip plan, and we fill this out. Usually fill it out together before we go, and we usually have a classroom in the morning to fill this out. So I'm going to put from Foothills Adults. It's actually called Adult Center. We call it Foothills Adult School sometimes, but it's technically called Foothills Adult Center. And I'm going to put to El Cajon Transit Center, or people call it El Cajon Trolley Station or El Cajon Trolley Center. You can actually call it ETC, El Cajon Transit, or ECT. I call it ETC, what I normally call it, just so you know. So we're going to leave Foothills. So I'm just going to use, I'm going to use the FH. Whoops, go back. So we're leaving, I have to back. We're leaving Foothills at a certain time. So in order to find, first I'm going to put FH in here. We're leaving Foothills, and in order to get to the time, I'm going to go to my Google Maps. So this is Foothills Adult Center on a Google Maps, and that's what I usually use on my phone. And I'm going to click directions, and I'm going to put in here, I'm going to flip this around. We're leaving Foothills Adult, but we're not coming to my location. I don't even live in El Cajon, so we're not going to mess with this. I'm going to put in here El Cajon Transit or Trolley Transit Center. See, El Cajon Transit Center. And we're not going to leave now. We're gonna depart on a different time. So we're gonna go ahead. Since today's Thursday, I'm gonna go ahead and make it for tomorrow, and I'm gonna make it for a different time in the AM. And normally our class starts at 7:45. So we usually are in the classroom until almost 9. So we usually leave by 9, sometimes a little earlier, 8:57. So one of our options is to leave at 8:57. That will give us more time, and we definitely are able to do this. So if we leave at 8:57, the 8:15 is so I'm going to go ahead and click on this, because if we leave at, say, 9:04. So if we leave at 9:04, we're going to walk to the trolley station. Let me show you the route right here. So we're going to leave from here. This is where Foothills is, right here where my cursor is, right here. We're going to leave from here, and then we're going to walk. See where those little dots are? We're going to walk down Melody to right on 3rd Street and go right here to 3rd and Melody, right here. That's where our bus stop is. We're going to get on the bus, and the bus is going to take us down 3rd Street, down Main Street to El Cajon Transit Center. And the whole thing only takes about 30 minutes. So look, let's open the details here. And it's going to tell us what to do. So it's going to tell us we're going to leave Foothills Center at 9:04. They're going to give us 9 minutes. Now we have different people that walk different speeds, right? So we have to go with the slower people as far as what time we leave. If we get there a little early, we can wait. But if we get there late, we'll miss the bus. So we're always going to leave a little bit early. So I'm going to go back to my trip plan here. And I'm going to say, whoops, let's go back what time. So it said 9:04. So I'm going to go a little earlier than 9:04. I'm going to say we're going to leave at 8:55. That gives us an extra 5 minutes. So that gives us a lot of time. I think it's like 13, 14, 15 minutes. And we're going to walk. So it says, this is the way you get there. See, right here it says bus, trolley, or walk. Well, we are going to walk. we are going to walk to 3rd and Madison. And that's where our stop is. And then our time is going to be, well, it's going to take us about 15 minutes. So I'm going to say, if we leave at 8:55, we'll be there at 9:10. For sure. We'll probably be there a little earlier than that. So it says 2 in time right here. So 2:30 of Madison, we're going to arrive about 9:10. So what time does the bus come? Let's go look at this again. What time does the bus come? So the bus, the 8:15 bus at 9:13. So the 8:15 bus arrives at 9:13. So let's go back there if we can remember that. So we're going to remember that. I'm going to go ahead and put in the bus number. The bus right here, 8:15. And as you know, you may or may not know, I have a terrible memory from 3rd and Madison. And then I forgot the time already, so I'm going to go back and look at 9:13. Okay, so I'm going to go back and put 9:13 right here. So I'll put this back here in our trip plan. 9:13. So that's what time the bus leaves. We're taking the 8:15 bus. Good. Push this over here. What belongs. When you write this, you don't have to worry about doing all this, moving it around and everything. And we're going to El Cajon Transit Center, ETC. Now let's see what time we arrive. Let's go back here and see what time we arrive. So we arrive at El Cajon at 9:35. See right here, so 9:35. So we arrive at 9:35 at El Cajon Transit. So I'll go back here to my trip plan and put arrive at El Cajon Transit at 9:35. So that's pretty much, that's a simple one, that's a short one. And from here we can leap to a lot of different places because we're at El Cajon Transit. If we take the green line, it goes to Santee. The orange line will go, and the green line the other way will go to downtown. And they will be together until they go to Grossmont Center, then they'll split. And we'll talk more about this later, of where they split and what they do. We'll talk more about this later when we get to those lessons. So that is a basic trip plan, and that's how we get from Foothills to El Cajon Transit.